Welcome to Learning Module Number 3, MacroCulture, the reflection of your veterinary practice culture. If microcultures consist of the overlapping work groups within your practice, and the bridge culture connects those groups to each other, the macroculture serves as their reflection. More so, it reflects your practice as a whole, alongside its mission, strategy, and brand. Think of it as the top of the mountain, or the whole mountain range, comprised of microculture peaks and the bridge culture connecting them. The macroculture, the microcultures, and the bridge culture form a symbiotic relationship, relying on and ensuring the success of each other. If it reflects the health of the subcultures within your practice, why do we say the macroculture is critical? In brief, your practice's macroculture is more than a sum of its parts. It is critical for its visibility and its capacity to inspire, yet it is subject to the energies of the people within your practice. How then do leaders influence macroculture? You influence your practice's macroculture through vision and strategy. You frame your practice's purpose of work and its values. By framing your practice's purpose of work and its values, your macroculture becomes one form of organizational identity. Remember, though, that your vision will only have power when your people see the role they play in its realization. You also influence your macroculture by recognizing the element of brand identity. This includes understanding how the identity influences not just those outside the practice, but also its members within. The brand promise must pass the reality test for people inside the practice, and it must inspire their commitment. While the macroculture might be the most visible and the definitive reflection of your practice's culture, one factor can diminish its power. Similar to a strong microculture, no matter how inspiring your vision and brand promise are, they are only powerful when your people have an emotional connection to the work. To engender such a connection, you must focus on their experience within your practice. So how do you strengthen your practice's macroculture? Step 1. Ensure that your brand, strategy, and vision align, and communicate them well throughout the practice. What your brand promises, your culture must deliver. So the people within must see the viability and integrity of these elements every day. Step 2. While we know that people can share the words and images used to communicate your vision and values, they only experience the reality of them through the teams and groups of their microcultures. Leaders can best influence this reality by showing interest in how people express their views of the vision, purpose, and mission of the work. Ask open-ended questions to help you ideate your best macroculture. When you think about our brand in the community, what images and words come to mind? When people ask you about our practice, how do you describe it? What are you most proud of in respect to our practice? In summary, the macroculture reflects your practice's micro and bridge cultures. Its critical function is its visibility and the way it inspires the people within your practice. To have power, the macroculture's people must see their part or role in it. Brand identity forms an important element of the macroculture, because it has both external and internal influence, and its realistic outlook will inspire commitment from your practice's people. You can strengthen your macroculture by ensuring the brand, strategy, and vision have viability and integrity. Subsequently, you must demonstrate interest by asking your people key questions about what makes the practice work and what makes them proud to work there. Thank you for your time in this module on macroculture. In familiarizing yourself with its key characteristics and understanding how to foster it, you take a step toward actualizing a thriving practice culture. You can explore this topic further by reading Kurt W. Kaufman and Dr. Kathy Sorensen's book, Culture Eats Strategy for Lunch. AAHA's Healthy Workplace Culture Initiative is supported through a generous educational grant from Merck Animal Health. Visit aaha.org/culture for more information. Thank you.